Imagine having a virtual assistant that writes code, analyzes trends, and spruces up your listings. Backed by popular demand, I'm talking about AI. AI is everywhere. It's embedded into the fabric of our society already. It's in our phones, it's in our vehicles, it's in our homes, it's everywhere. And I want you to be prepared so you don't get left behind. There is so much that I can talk about when it comes to AI, but today I am niching down and talking only about AI when it comes to reselling. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 ideas of how to use ChatGPT so that you can improve your business using AI. But before I do that, let me explain how a video like this works for those of you that are new to the channel. You probably clicked on a title or a thumbnail, and I'm going to give you that information first, no doubt. I'm not going to make you wait. But if you decide to wait, what I do is that I go into my eBay Everything store and I pick out some sales so that you can see what is possible for you. In between those sales, I also talk about comments and I answer questions. So if you ever have something to say, leave it in the comments below. Plus, this episode is going to be extra special because I am retiring a very popular segment, Who Be Talking Shit, and I'm replacing it with something else. So stay tuned for that because it's going to be fun. Okay, let's get to the topic at hand. We are talking about AI or artificial intelligence. First off, I always use ChatGPT because everybody and their mom knows it. That's the only reason. You can extrapolate these ideas into something else like Gemini from Google or Grok from X or whatever you want to use. But just wanted to mention that because this is not paid for by ChatGPT or anything like that. I also have to say this is not a how-to. This is not a tutorial. Don't expect a step-by-step. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you everything pretty quickly on the back end because it's already kind of built out so that the video can go faster. What I want to do is give you ideas so that you can go and mess with your own AI to see how you can improve your business. Now, if you absolutely need a how-to or a tutorial, I am going to be shooting one in the coming weeks for my Posse members only. Those are paid subscribers to the channel. So if you're interested in that, click the join button down below. Okay, let's get to it. I promise 3 ideas to make your business better with AI, right? The first one is going to be all about how things look. So here's my back end. I'm going to choose one of my listings, which is a Reselloupe right here. And we're going to be working on this. Look, we're not talking about the way that the pictures look. You should already be a pro at that. Take good pictures. Don't take shitty pictures and you'll be fine. Now, what we're talking about, when you scroll down, we're talking about this. The item description from the seller. So this area has a lot of information and it's great information. It has everything that I want the customer to know. However, it's boring. It's bland. It's just text. How can we spruce this up so that when a customer bypasses the photos, maybe they look at the photos, but they want to go to the description. How do we make this look nicer so that the customer feels like it's a more professional listing? Maybe that you put in more effort into it, so now they trust you more. How could we do that? It used to be that you needed to write code. You needed to write HTML so that you can mess with the listings. And this is what I'm talking about. Look, so I'm going to sell similar. I'm going to start a new one so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So we have the pictures, right? You keep going down right here. Show HTML code. So this is what I typed in. It just looks regular. But look at when I click this. That looks like a bunch of nonsense to most of you, right? If you don't write code, it's going to look like nonsense. Now, we want to replace this. So I'm going to get rid of all that. Now, if I remove it, there's nothing there because I got rid of all the code. I got rid of what the website needs to know so they can display certain things like words, pictures, whatever. Okay, so now what are we going to do? We're going to go into ChatGPT and we're going to tell it to give us HTML code that looks nicer. Get me a colorful backend. It says colorful. I misspelled it. That's all right. I type fast sometimes. Get me a colorful backend HTML code to optimize my listing using the following info. So I copied and pasted the info that was already there so that it knows where to pull info from and then make it look nice. And then I let it do its thing. And then look, that's the code. But I'm not copying that yet. And I'll tell you why. Because I looked at it and I said, okay, I could make some changes. So I wanted to make some changes. And I said, provide a placeholder for a photo that I will be pulling from the eBay gallery. The photo should be towards the top after the name Reselloupe. And it says, okay, cool. I'll do that. No problem. So I needed a placeholder so that it can have pictures also in the description, like you do at the very top. They gave me all the code and I said, no, not done yet. one more thing. And I said, make it easy to place the photo link. Mark it, place photo link here. And I did that for you guys so you can see exactly where it goes. You just delete those words and you paste what I'm going to show you how to paste right now. And then it gave me the code. And then we go all the way down. Okay, perfect, right? So now what do I do? So I just press copy right here. I go back to my listing. It says show HTML code, right? So I'm going to paste this in there. And now look, I'm going to unclick this so you can see the back end. Wow, okay, looks different now. There's color, there's a bunch of other things, right? So I'm going to go back into the HTML code because we need to find where it says place photo link here. Okay, so now for those of you that are wondering, well, where are we going to get a photo link? Check this out. If you scroll up, you right click the photo that you want, which is that one. I'm just going to use this one. And you go to inspect, it opens this whole mess of crap over here. You don't have to know anything about how this works. You don't have to know most of that. What you have to know is that once you hover over this, that's the picture, it gives you the current source. All you do is you copy that source, the source code, you Control C, copy it, and then we can close that out. Then scroll all the way to the bottom again. We find the place where it says place photo link here. And we paste it, Control V for paste. And then look, show HTML code. Look at that. Now I have a photo on there. Now look, let's see what it actually looks like on the back end. So we're going to preview this. And of course, eBay takes forever to load sometimes because it's a preview. Okay, don't worry about this other stuff because it's a preview. It has some weird writing, but we're just going to show you what it looks like. The top looks exactly the same. If you keep going to the bottom though, look, Reselloupe, see the difference, sell the difference. It has my photo, and then it's the must-have highlighting tool. Why choose a Reselloupe? It has bullet points, infinite possibilities, and a bunch of other stuff that I don't need. Now, mind you, this is not optimized. I didn't want to do that today. It's going to take me some time to get like a master template that I would use for certain products. And the Reselloupe has its own template. Now, I would get rid of the order button, that stupid heart emoji. I'd get rid of that because I don't like things like that, but that's fine. Now, what I would also do is that I have a brand. If you guys notice, my thumbnails almost always have the same colors, the same color schemes, the yellows, the blues, the greens, and then the reds when I go live and things of the sort. If you want to do that, then you also need to tell the AI to do that. It needs to have a color palette for you, and you can train it to do that. And let me explain how that would work. Now, if you tell it, well, make it yellow. Well, it doesn't know what yellow is. There's so many variations of yellow. It's almost infinite. So this is what I would recommend. You can get color codes from online. You can get it from a website. You can get it from anywhere. But I'm going to show you my back end of this. This is the Adobe Express. This is how I build my thumbnails. This is the back end. It's very simple to use. Now look, if I hover or if I click easy right there and I want to use that yellow, not any other yellow, I want to use that yellow. So I go over here to the left-hand side, I click on that color, and then I go to custom and look, that hex code is right there. You can use hex code. You can use a few different ones because HTML understands colors like this, but I would tell it use hashtag FFFD70. That's the color yellow, that specific color. So I would now go back to the ChatGPT, to the GPT that I built for it, and I would tell it, this is my color palette. Always use this when using the Reselloupe or when making videos or photos for the Reselloupe. And that's it. So now you have a listing that looks so much better. Now, I don't recommend you do this for every single listing because that would be insane. It would take way too long for you to do that. I recommend it for listings that have volume, listings that have quantity. If you're selling the one thing over and over and over again, like I am with the Reselloupe, then I recommend you take more time to optimize. If you're doing one-to-one reselling, which is I bought a shirt and I want to sell a shirt, then just leave it plain Jane because it's all about speed when it comes to that. When it comes to this, you want people to come back to your listing and say, shit, I want to buy that. So now let's go to idea number 2. I'm here on my back end and I created something called the eBay listing optimizer. Now I already have a video on this specific to this, but I'm showing you again because I get this question a lot. how can I use AI to better make keywords so that it can better make optimized listings, so it can make descriptions and titles because it takes long, or because some people don't know what they should include in something like this. So check this out. All I do is I put in some information. Brooks Brothers linen cargo shorts, blue men's, large, solid. So that's what I know about the product, right? Let's just assume. So it's a Brooks Brothers linen cargo shorts. They're blue and they're in men's large and they're solid. That means that they're not patterned or striped or anything. And this is what it gave me. Title, 80 characters, because I tell it that it needs to maximize as close to 80 characters as possible. Brooks Brothers linen cargo shorts, men's large, blue, relaxed fit, summer solid 100% linen. Okay, so the only thing that I would delete from here is that 100% linen. I could get rid of that because you don't need to have that on there. You can have it on your item specifics. Then the description. Elevate your warm weather wardrobe with these Brooks Brothers linen cargo shorts in a versatile blue. Designed for casual sophistication, they offer breathable comfort and laid back fit. Perfect for summer outings. 100% linen construction for lightweight comfort. Relaxed fit with functional cargo pockets. Classic blue solid color for easy styling. Ideal for travel, casual, or resort wear. Now, the reason I do it this way is because at the very beginning, this is something that you would read easily. It's like 1 or 2 sentences long, and I told it that it needs to be 2 sentences long. This is for somebody that likes to see it this way, and then there's bullets. It's essentially the same information, but the bullets give you specifics, and it gives you information for those that just like specifics or just like to read in bullet format. The reason I set it up this way is because it is easy to read. It doesn't have too much hoopla. Like, people don't want to have an overly positive, overly oh my God, these are the best shorts ever, because they won't believe it then. It needs to sound like a real human being. It needs to sound like you. So it took me a while to build this GPT to tell it exactly what I want, but this is the essential format. This is the format that I use for almost everything. It gives me the title, gives me a description, and then all I do is that I would copy it up to here, and then I would paste it. I use the title at the title, and then I would paste this whole thing at the very bottom, and then I add some other information like what my return policy is, how long I take to ship, and things of the sort. But that's it. It's simple. This helps a ton, especially now that ChatGPT is excellent at doing web searches, because you can tell it to do a web search before the GPT does anything else. You can tell it do a web search for the most up-to-date keywords and place them in the places where they need to be so that it optimizes my listing so that I can get more sales. It works pretty damn well, and I do recommend it. Number 3, this is going to be very different, but look. So I went here. Let me go to the bottom. I went to the bottom and I said, give me 200 items per page for my feedback. And this is all that I did. Here we go. So I just copied this straight off of the page, all the way down. I'm not going to show you because I already did it, but I copied all the feedback. And then I went to this page right here. Hold on one second. There you go. It's just a general ChatGPT page. And then I put it all in there, right? Look, this is all the feedback. So let me go all the way to the bottom. And at the very bottom, and I said, there we go. Where is it? Analyze the feedback data and give me 3 bullets of what I should keep doing and 2 bullets of what I could work on. So now I'm analyzing data so that I can see where I can improve based on what my customers are saying. And this is what ChatGPT told me. Okay, what you should keep doing. It says shipping, speed, and packaging. Overwhelmingly, customers mention fast shipping and secure packaging. That tells you your fulfillment game is strong. Keep that efficiency locked in. Yeah. Next, product value and accuracy. Your items, especially the Reselloupe, are repeatedly praised for being, as described, high quality and great value. Customers feel they're getting more than their money's worth. Well, thank all of you that have bought the Reselloupe, and thank you for leaving the positive reviews. Next, building community trust. Multiple buyers reference watching your YouTube channel, learning from you, and appreciating the education and generosity you provide. You're not just selling a tool, you're building a movement. I really am humbled and very thankful for you guys that left those reviews. And by the way, this is not me. This is what ChatGPT got from this, of course. your feedback would be different because you don't have that one product that has all these reviews, right? But whatever the case, you need to make sure that you do this because now it'll tell you what you're doing right and what you can improve on. And let's look at what I can improve on. It says, what could you work on? Color accuracy in photos. That does happen, by the way, with my great background. At least one buyer noted that the item was a darker shade than expected. It was khaki, by the way. It was like more brown khaki and it looked khaki in the photo. It's okay. Says you might want to tweak lighting or add a note about color variation to avoid misunderstandings. I do have a note about color variation, by the way, but the GPT doesn't know that because it hasn't scanned my entire store. It only scanned the feedback. Next, missed or late deliveries. I can't do anything about that, but it's a problem. One buyer said they hadn't received their item, which is the only neutral feedback that I got. And I mean, it's not my fault. I mean, it's not their fault either. You know, if they get mad, I understand. That could be on the USPS, but it's your problem until it's resolved. It's still your problem until it's resolved. Set up tighter tracking, follow-up, or alerts so you can proactively step in when deliveries stall. You know what? That's smart. And by the way, my GPT is very straightforward because I built it that way. I want it to be an asshole and tell me when I am doing something wrong. And it's very good at pointing out things when you analyze data. And look, it's very simple, right? All I did was scrape all this stuff and put it in here. Easy. And that's it. It's very simple, right? Those are the 3 ideas that I want you to take away from this. Put it into your business or implement it into your business to see how you can increase your business. It's a great tool to use. I always recommend using the AI because it is built into society. So don't shun it like a lot of people do. Don't talk shit about it. Learn it and learn it now because if not, you're going to be left behind. I really hope that you guys like those 3 ideas and I hope that you implement it into your business because they are a huge time saver and they really do help. If you like this info so far, don't forget to give this video a like, share this with anyone that needs to see it, and subscribe for more. Plus, click that bell so you don't miss out on future videos. All right, let's go to the sales. Before we get into the actual sales, I want to make it official with what I touched on earlier. I am officially retiring the segment, Who Be Talking Shit. It was very popular. It was a segment where I used to call out the trolls, people that were just negative. They would come and talk shit on the channel. And the reason is because I figured, you know what? Instead of focusing on the losers, why don't we focus on the winners? So I am officially retiring this segment and I am making a new segment called Cheers to You. This new segment is all about celebrating your wins. If you have a big win, maybe you had the biggest sale of your life, maybe you just crossed $100,000, maybe maybe you just found a brand new pallet of items that you're so excited to put up. Whatever you want to celebrate, I want the channel to celebrate with you and I want to celebrate with you. So anytime that these videos come out on Monday, leave whatever win you have in the comments and then I will do my best to put them all together or split them up into weeks. I'm not sure. It just depends on how many comments I get. And again, I just want to celebrate with you. And mind you, this doesn't necessarily have to be reselling related. You can send over maybe something fun happened with your kids. Maybe they just graduated. Maybe you just got engaged. You just got married. Things of the sort. I want to celebrate with you. With that said, let's get started. This goes at Bricks on a Budget. They are referencing top 3 reselling YouTubers because this is before I even mentioned to do this. This person says, made my first sale today on eBay. Kind of exciting. I am so glad that you are excited to do that. And I know that sometimes we think, oh, it's his first sale. You know, what a noob. But you know what? At one point, we were new. We hadn't made any sales and it was our first sale. So we need to be able to be happy for someone else and to celebrate with them because eventually, if they stick with it, they're going to keep going. They're going to keep making money. And then maybe they're going to surpass our business. Maybe they make the next big product that changes everything. Next, here we have at Monica Gonzalez F9K. She says, I have to celebrate that I won for president of the PTA for my kid's school. Woohoo! That's awesome. Congratulations for that. I especially like this one because I believe that parents should be more involved in with their kids' schooling, with their kids' education, especially right now when there's so much trash out there. Kids getting taught stupid shit that you don't want them to get taught, and there's just so much that we need to change. And by we, I don't mean me because I don't have any kids. However, I understand that kids are the future, and as a parent, when you get involved, you need to have a say in what your kid learns because they are going to grow up in this world and they're going to be future leaders. So you want them to take what you have to give them, whatever ethics, whatever morals and values you have to give them, take that into the future so that we can build a better world, whatever world that may be. So congratulations for that. Next, here we go. At Phyllis Grimes says, thank you for another awesome, inspiring video. Just joined the posse yesterday, and I consider that a huge win. What's up, Phyllis? Phyllis just joined the posse. If you guys are wondering what that is, just click the join button down below. Well, I am so glad that you consider that a huge win because I do have quite a bit of other videos on the back end that you guys can go watch. I have something on ChatGPT. I have something on... There's just questions that people send in all the time, and they're always fun, and we talk about all kinds of topics. I am so glad that you're excited, Phyllis. I am excited to have you as a posse member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And everybody, thank you very much for sending those comments. Again, whenever you see a video like this on Mondays, leave a comment in the comments below, and I will do my best to celebrate with you guys, the following week. So, to everybody that sent something in, cheers to you. And it's early in the morning, so this is water. Usually it's alcohol, but now it's water. All right, let's get to the sales. Here is our first one for today. Vintage Walt Disney Cinderella pop-up book hardcover. So I bought a whole bunch of these at auction. Nobody wanted to touch them because they're like, well, they're just pop-up books. And I knew that they were worth money. So I ended up paying about 50 cents for each of these because I bought a whole bunch. And I think this is the second or third one that I sell. Not Cinderella, but of the Walt Disney line. And here you go. Sold for $29.99, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $18.22. So about $17.50 or $17.75 in profit. That is excellent. Of course, it's because they're new sealed. You're rarely going to find them new sealed because most of these, they're pop-up books. So what would you do? You'd buy it for your kids and then give it to your kids and they would open them. But this person was a collector. And I know because I have a bunch of sealed VHS videos that I have been selling, a bunch of pop-up books that I have been selling. And I think I have something else that is coming up right now so you guys can see it. Next sale, here we have Jenga Girl Talk 2007 Parker Bros. Okay, whenever you see a very different version of like a common game, most of the time they're going to be sought after. Like the regular Jenga, yeah, it sells for like $9 or $10. You can buy it at Walmart. So I wouldn't pick that up, but I picked this one up because it was Girl Talk edition. It was pink. And if you notice, it says Toys R Us exclusive. What does that mean? That means that these are really going to be exclusive because Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. Technically, they do exist in certain contexts, but not like they used to. They don't have the chain of stores anymore. But look at this. This was, oh man, it was so awesome. And I bought it at an estate sale. Nobody wanted it because they're like, oh, Jenga, it's just Jenga. Well, I already knew what's up. I already knew that it was worth something. I bought it for $2. Sold for $26.99, $12.99 shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $21.79. So what did I say? $2. So $19.79 in profit. Now look at this. Look at that shipping label, $10.66, and they paid $12.99. I'm showing you this because don't forget that things like this, they're awesome, but they're also big and heavy. So they are going to cost money to ship them. So just be careful. Make sure that you charge the appropriate shipping or use calculated shipping if you're a newbie, so that you don't end up in the hole when it comes to the shipping cost. Let's take our first question or comment here. This goes out to at SL Green. They are referencing the Entrepreneur's Guide to Managing Stress Like a Pro. This was a live that I did a couple of months ago. Says, I can't tell you how much I needed this. I've been reselling for 2 years now, and I'm feeling a lot like what you discussed, which is you're down, you're stressed. it's a difficult it's a difficult life. First of all, it's difficult to be an entrepreneur, and second off, it's just difficult to be a reseller if you are reselling, if you're buying items all the time, thrifting and stuff, and then putting them up. It's just difficult. So I get it. Says, and I feel like I needed more structure. I'm going to save this one so I can watch it when I feel lost. You're making an impact. I've watched several of your videos in the past few days. You are doing it right, and you are making an impact. Well, thank you very much. I am so glad that I am making an impact. This is what I want to do with my life, honestly. This is what I am built for. This is what I believe that I was born for, put on this earth for, to help others live a better life through my speaking engagements, through my videos, through my teaching, through whatever me being able to impart my knowledge to you guys. That's what I want to do. I want to help you guys succeed. And I truly do mean that. If you guys ever watch my lives, you can go and see, you guys can go get on and see what it is that I'm talking about. But I talk about all kinds of subjects because it's not just about making money either. I want to make sure that you feel complete, that you feel whole when you're in this business, when you're an entrepreneur. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I talk about what I talk about. And just wait a little later or a little longer. You'll see another comment later that references a video that I lost subscribers on, amazingly. But I thought that it was a good video to put out to make sure that people stay focused and so that their compass can continue to point true north. All right, next. This is our next sale. Here we go. Vintage 1995 Disney Halloween haunts. These movies were also bought at auction along with the other pop-up books that I said earlier. So I bought these for $1 each. So this is $4 in, because I bought these were more expensive because they came with the VHS. The books were cheaper. But okay, so say I'm $4 in, right? Sold for $44.99, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $29.99. So what is that? $26 in profit. That is an excellent margin. Anytime that you see stuff like this that is very old school, like those cartoon classics, they're great. And I think they were from Kmart back in the day. And I said that I knew that because they were sealed, somebody was going to want them in VHS format. And here you go. They didn't even take long to sell. They probably took maybe like a week and a half to sell. I still have VHS up and I still have some pop-up books, but the more common ones sold fast. Next, for those of you that watch me quite a bit, you guys understand that I love time. I have a weird thing about time. I have to have a watch on, although as I say that, I don't have my watch on right now because it's early and I haven't put it on right now. But I always buy timepieces because I love to mess with them and I love to fix them. And this didn't really need a fix. It just needed a new battery. This is the Bulova Ladies Watch White Dial Gold Tone Stainless Steel. And look at it. It's not in perfect condition. It's scratched. I could have buffed those out, but I didn't want to do that because I wasn't getting enough money for it. So there's always a give and take. If I get more money for it, I put in more time. If I get less money, I put in less time, and that's just the way it goes. But look at that. I bought it for 50 cents because I bought it in a big-ass bag of watches. I threw a lot of them away because they weren't good. You know, take out parts and things of the sort. But whatever I need to scrap, I just, get rid of it. But look at this. Sold for $24.99, free shipping, after fees and everything. I brought home $15.82. So somebody asked me last time, why would you do that? Doesn't that take too long? I mean, you have to open the watch, you have to buy the battery, you have to do this, and you have to do that. No. If you're a professional, if you know what you're doing when it comes to watches, when it comes to fixing timepieces, no, it doesn't take long. It's super easy for me. I've been doing this though for a long time, and I consider myself a watch professional or a timepiece professional because I have been messing with watches since when I can remember, and I can open a watch, switch out the crown, switch out the mechanism, switch out pretty much anything, and that's just the way it goes. So for me, it's easy and it's fast. If you can do this quickly, this is a good turn on your money. I mean, 50 cents into $24.99. So what is that? 14 or $15.50 in profit. Well, $15.30 in profit. $15 in profit from 50 cents. I'll take that any day. And stuff like this, these watches, you can see them all the time at estate sales. They're like in a bag or in a bowl because nobody wants to mess with them. So this is where you can come in, look at that and say, oh shit, you know what? I can fix those. And I have a video, and I'm going to link it down below, for how to replace watch batteries. It's super simple. It just you just need to get comfortable with it. That's it. Next question or comment. Here you go. Girl Dad Sports 317. They are referencing why humility is actually a super powerful. Okay, I shoot videos like this also, not just on reselling, but on general things like big ego, empty wallet. All I said in that video was just make sure that you keep your ego in check, and your compass will point true north, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay in your life, and you'll be okay in your business. And this person asked, hey, I'm a big fan of all your videos and live streams. I recently became a Posse member. Thank you very much. I wanted to know if you're a coffee person in the morning, and what's your go-to grab for breakfast in the mornings. I have a full-time job in a business, and I find it hard to take time to eat healthy and meaningful throughout the day, and find myself getting hungry, looking at the clock, realizing half the day is gone and I haven't eaten anything, or I'll grab convenient snacks or fast food. I get it. I 100% get it. And I am not the most fit guy with the six-pack and with everything, but I take care of myself pretty well. I exercise regularly and I eat fairly healthy. I eat a bunch of crap too, by the way. I mean, I eat chips and salsa in the middle of the night. You can ask my girl, she can testify to that. I eat Chips Ahoy chips with, or Chips Ahoy cookies with milk and things of the sort. But for the most part, I try to take care of myself. First, I am definitely a coffee person. Here, let me show you guys. This is the third cup of coffee for today. And some of you might say, that's too much coffee. Well, my body responds really well to it, and I've been drinking coffee since I could remember, since I was a teenager, and it's fine. It's 100% okay. Now, what is my go-to breakfast? For the most part, I don't really eat breakfast. I eat 2 times a day, which is lunch and dinner, but I eat heavier meals usually. And I don't mean heavy as in bad food, but heavy as in they are loaded with protein. I try to eat one gram of protein for 1 pound of weight. I'm at about 172 right now, and I want to go up to 180 if possible, but not in bad weight, in good weight. And that's what I try to do. Now, when I understand that when you look at the clock and it's inconvenient for you to stop working so that you can feed yourself, so you grab a bunch of crap and fast food. I get that 100%. And I know that you're not always going to be able to eat the healthiest possible. But what I do recommend is pre-pack small things like a bowl of nuts, maybe almonds with cranberries and like the trail mix type, or cheeses. Not all cheeses, because cheeses are also not 100% good for you because of salt and fat. But, cheese is decent. It's a decent snack that can keep you going until you can actually sit down and eat. So you try to do the best that you can to keep yourself fit so that you can keep going with your business, and so that it doesn't slow you down. Now, the thing to remember here is mindset. When you say that I don't have time, because I've said that before and people say that all the time, I don't have time to go to the gym. You do have time, you just don't want to make time. So it's all about the mindset. Make it important to you, and make it a point to make these snacks, to take the time to eat healthy, and you'll get it done. A lot of the times it's because we choose to do fast food because it's easy. That's why it's fast food. It's fast. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes you feel a little bit better. But you know what? Don't kick yourself too much, because it happens to all of us. Sometimes we eat crap, and that's fine. As long as you keep it in check, don't overdo it, you'll be okay. Next sale, here we go. Vintage cufflinks and tie bar clip. I love to buy things like this. I always find them at estate sales, and usually they're $1 to $2. And in this case, they were $1. Look at that. It's for the set. And sold for $19.99, $5.99 shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $14.69, so $13.69 in profit. These take up no space. They're, in fact, in my jewelry cabinet. They take up no space, and they are very easy to ship. Put them in a package, or put them in a little on a padded envelope, and ship it out. That's it. It takes also no time to shoot the photos. This is why I love buying things like this. And I'm getting more and more into jewelry and accessories. And with that said, look at this one. Vintage Chinese sterling silver gilt filigree carved jade brooch. I don't know why nobody wanted it. I went to this estate sale and they had it for $12.50 or $13 and it was half off. So that's why I paid $6.50. And I said, this is gorgeous. It is beautiful. I looked at it and said, it looks floral. Maybe that's a mouse. I don't know what the hell that is, but it looks nice. Look at that. The pattern looks amazing. You go to the back. Oh man, sorry. I can't zoom in on this, but anyways, right here where my mouse is, you go to the back and it said silver because it is made out of silver. And I was able to clean some of it on the back so I can make sure. And there is ways to test silver. And I said, okay, I knew that this was a thing. I just didn't know how big of a thing. And some of these, I've seen them on eBay for like $250. And I said, well, $250 is a little too much for the brooch unless it is stamped. In this case, it wasn't stamped with the manufacturer. So I said, I need to price it down a little bit more. Look at this. I priced it down to $99 and I took an offer. Somebody sent an offer for $85. And I said, I will take it because it was like within one day I sold it. Maybe I underpriced it. If you guys think that I underpriced this because I don't know what this was, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think it was. If you know this manufacturer that is not stamped, but if you know who the manufacturer was. But look at that. Either way, sold it for $85, free shipping, after fees and everything. I brought home $70.55 minus the, let's say, $7 in profit or $7 in cost of goods. So $63 in profit within one day. That is a great find. Plus, look at that. It is gorgeous. Oh, man. I kind of wanted to keep it for the collection. I mean, not for me to wear, obviously, because I'm a man, but I have collectible jewelry that I just have in a place in my home just because I like the way that people take time to make jewelry. All right, next question or comment. Here we go. This person is referencing how to get more sales on eBay, hack the algorithm. This goes out to @MikeKinney2561. Oh, and I remember that I put the response because I looked at this and I said, let me give him the best response possible to this. He says, what about years? I sell a lot of car parts on eBay. Should I put the model year before or after the brand? Remember, you have to think like a customer. And any time that somebody asks for what kind of vehicle you drive, like for example, me, I have a Hyundai Elantra, basic vehicle, but it is newer. It's a 2023. When somebody asks me, what kind of vehicle do you drive? What do I tell them? A 2023 Hyundai Elantra. I don't say Hyundai Elantra 2023. For example, my motorcycle. What kind of motorcycle do you drive or do you ride? A 2013 Yamaha Striker. So you always put the date in the front because that is how it comes out naturally for most people. That is how, if you go to to buy a vehicle to a lot somewhere, it's going to be a 1995 Ford F-150 or whatever the case, right? So I told them for car parts, always place the model year range before the brand name, followed by the item type and other details. This matches how buyers typically search. 2010 to 2015 Ford F-150 headlight assembly, left side OEM. OEM, it just means that it's original from factory. Never include the word for in the title. Simply place the year range first. Hope that helps. Okay, so doing things like 2010 to 2015 Ford F-150 for headlight assembly or 2015 headlights for a Ford F-150, you don't need to include the word for. The algorithm, I think, now is advanced enough it scraps out to, for, with. It scraps that out and it just likes the main words so that it can help you push it to the right customer. And this is a great optimized title. It helps a ton. And I bet that if you run it this way, if you're selling car parts, it's going to help. Now, this isn't just me saying this. I looked at a bunch of different listings. I looked at a bunch of different solds. And I also had AI do the same and run analytics. And guess what? The AI said the same thing. This is the best, most optimized title. All right, let's go to the next one. Here's our next sale. Oh, excuse me. Got something in my throat today. Here we go. Vintage 1990 Aladdin monster in my pocket red plastic lunchbox. I thought it was super cool, man. It was dirty as hell when I found it at an estate sale. It was in the garage. I bought it for $1. Mind you, it doesn't have anything inside. Normally it comes with a thermos, but it doesn't have it inside. Bought it for $1, sold for $27.99, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $16.51, so $15.51 in profit. Off of that, it didn't cost me pretty much nothing to ship. I just put it in an appropriate box. It was a 12 by 12 by 4 with a little bit of bubble to make sure that it didn't crack when they were just kind of pushing on it, if the USPS pushes on it at the top. And it was great. I haven't had I don't think anything happened to it in transit, because you got to be careful with stuff like this. The plastic isn't the hardest plastic ever. It's not ABS. So it's not stuff that you would put on a car, right? It's thinner plastic. So you got to be careful when shipping, but they haven't given me any negative feedback. They haven't complained. So I said, great, somebody has this. And this was super cool, man. I kind of wanted to put it up here because I have some Halloween themed or horror themed stuff, but if I keep saying that, I'm never going to sell anything. Next, here we have Jilbery de Paris Tourmaline Series Flat Iron. This was in one of my videos, mind you, the one that I just shot, the classes with glasses, about the shipping process. These irons, these flat irons, they work really well, and you can find them consistently. Don't just look. Obviously, you always have to comp your items. But I can tell you right now, like Revlon, some Revlon, like very specific, detailed, cool ones might make you some money, but usually no. You have to look for higher end, either blow dryers or irons like this, but they do make money. And I bought this for $3.50 at Goodwill on half off day because it was like $7. And sold for $30, $8.99 shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $24.21. That is awesome. So about $21 in profit from that right there, from the flat iron. And I can tell you that it does work because I have hair, I have long hair, and I have used one of these before, and it does work. When I had to flatten out my hair, it works fine. I have wavy hair, by the way, so that's why sometimes I gotta flatten it out because it gets whoosh, poofy like this. And I don't know, just for different looks. So I do recommend these. Just make sure that you test them. You do have to test them because sometimes they might heat up quick, but then they shut off even quicker. So just be careful with that. Next question or comment. Here we go. This is at Cloisterine. They are referencing why humility is actually super powerful. It says, awesome video. As always, you're fulfilling your purpose in life and it is very meaningful. Best regards. Well, thank you very much. I really do believe that I am. I believe that I am helping people move in the right direction. At least that's my goal. And from what I've seen from others, that I'm doing okay. And if I can continue to do that for the rest of my life, I think I would die a happy man. I want to help people find their way in life, make some money, become entrepreneurs, leave their 9 to 5, whatever the case may be. And if I can influence people, not influence, I hate that word because it's just so misused, but if I can affect people in a better way, in a positive way, that's what I want to do. They are referencing Big Ego, Empty Wallet. Again, by the way, this video lost me 8 subscribers, and I think I know why. People assume that they come to Resolutions, it's only going to be reselling. Boom, just give me the thing and I want to leave. Usually those are the people that are going to be lost. Or maybe it hit home that I'm talking about having a big ego when you have to keep yourself in check. Sometimes we start looking at other people like, oh my God, look at that. They just started. Oh, I'm already up here. And it's like, you know what, bro? We have to be nice to each other. We have to be good to each other. And we have to keep our ego in check sometimes, because just as easy as that we can have all these wins, we can lose everything from one day to the next. I've had some very good experiences in my life, and I've also had my very bad experiences in my life. And what life has taught me is that I need to be humble and I need to keep my ego in check all the time to make sure that I'm not a douche in this world, that I'm not out there just pretending or trying to make myself feel better and bigger. And like, I don't want to do that. And I recommend the same for you guys. And I think that keeping your ego in check also helps you see the truth from the lies. That's just me. So if you guys want to check out that video, I do recommend it. It's called Big Ego, Empty Wallet, or at least the thumbnail says that. It says why humility is actually super powerful. Reseller motivation. I do these videos once in a while. I understand that some people might find it like somebody said, "Oh, thanks for the sermon." Whatever, man. If you guys don't want to watch them, that's fine by me. But that I'm gonna continue to do this on my channel because it is my channel, and if I have a message to put out to the world, I'm gonna put it out. And if it costs me some subscribers and it costs me some people that talk shit, that's fine. I'm 100% okay with that. I am 100% okay with the consequences of doing this because this isn't just a reselling channel. We're not so small that we can't think of something else. If you come to this channel, you get to see me, you get to hear me and my thoughts, as you guys have probably heard already, about the Second Amendment, about how patriotic I am, about the United States, about presidential elections, about things like that. And that's okay. I'm 100% okay with that. You guys are going to get 100% me. So just an FYI, here is our next sale. Vintage Masterpiece Art Auction Board. This is the second one that I've sold. The first one was in almost pristine condition, so I got a lot more money for it. But this is a great game. I've never played it, but I mean as a great game as in it sells. Masterpiece Art Auction Collection. If you guys find it, buy it. Now this was missing, I think, 2 or 3 pieces, and it's still sold, and it sold pretty quick. I bought this for $5, sold for $36.99, $9.99 shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $29.19. Look at that. There was $11 in shipping because it was a long board game. All I did was I wrapped it in cardboard really tight, and then I shipped it, and it was perfectly fine. The first one that I bought or that I sold was like 50. I think I got like $60 for it plus shipping. So it just depends on the condition and if you're missing pieces, but this is a great one to look out for. Trust me, look for this one. And by the way, I had put this up on Amazon as well. Amazon, you can get upwards of 60 to 80 to, I think somebody has it for like 120. I don't think it'll sell for 120, but you can get quite a bit more. But I took it down because there was so much competition. And I said, hey, I got to turn my money. So I took it out from Amazon. I put it on here, sold like that. I think eBay is more of a place where people come for collectibles. So there's less people looking for it on Amazon, although Amazon is huge, and most of my other product that is new or like the products that I bring from Mexico, they sell way faster on Amazon. But when it comes to this, eBay is the place to go. eBay is the place to be. This is why eBay is still in business. If you need something old school, vintage that you can't find anywhere else, guess what? Most people are like, let me check eBay. There you go. So this is what I think that eBay is going to be in business for a very long time if they continue to do things correctly, because it has its own niche. It's not Amazon, and everybody knows that, and that's okay. Next and final sale. Wahoo! Aquadisc waterproof soft grip. Okay. So this person bought 3, and this was quantity 3. If you notice, it says 3X. I do this when I have a lot of something or when I'm loading them up. I put this on the back end on my Adobe Express, as you saw earlier, and then I just put in 3X. That's it. And then I put it up like this because instead of putting 3 of them, it's easier for me to shoot one and then just label it 3X, 5X, 10X, whatever I'm selling, and it'll be easier for me to do that. Now I bought these for $1 each. Actually, it was less than $1, but I just put $1 each. Bought them at Walmart. Retail arbitrage after season. Sold for $59.97, free shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $37.82, so minus $9, about $28 in profit. That is an excellent pickup. Every season after the hot season and after the cold season, I pick up items that I will sell the following season, and here you go. They do sell. I'm assuming this person probably bought them for like a charity. Maybe they bought them for like a church. Maybe they bought them for a government entity where, you know, they have like the YMCA. Probably because like, why would you buy 9? There's chingos of them. And these are specific to the water. So I said, great. I mean, if they want to use them as regular Frisbees, that's fine too. But they are lighter weight and they're perfect for the water. So I do recommend retail arbitrage. You just have to know what you're doing. You have to comp everything and make sure that if you're buying off season, that you understand that the sales are going to be slow until next season. So usually it's going to be a 1-year turnaround. That means that you are putting that money on hold. You're putting it in a freaking box somewhere, and you can't make money until the following year. So as long as you can afford it, you'll be okay. Last comment and or question. This person is referencing how to sell ties on eBay step by step for maximum profit. This goes out to @Jules Pride Bengals. Says, love this. I always see ties, but never think to pick them up for eBay store. Now I'm looking. I love all your tips and tricks and just wanted to add that I also use ChatGPT for my product descriptions. That is awesome. But I wanted to add another tip. Simply pop a few listing photos of the product showing pattern, tags, etc. into the chat and ask for GPT to create the listing. It's so much quicker than having to describe it with words while I'm letting ChatGPT write up the entire description. I get the listing set up. Huge time saver. That is correct. I have a special GPT that I have on my back end that does the same thing. I am doing as the year goes on, I'm going to continue to do videos like this for my posse members only that are very specific to AI, that are very long and are like how-tos or more explanatory. So if you guys are interested in learning on things like that, click the join button down below. It starts at nothing. It's like it costs you less than what coffee costs you at Starbucks for 1 month worth, and you can get all the content. So I think I'm pretty reasonable when it comes to things like that, but I do have to get paid for my time. That's why I have the subscriber model for posse members only. And you guys can always ask me questions once a week on Wednesdays. And the questions are awesome. They're all kinds of questions. And we talk about all kinds of subjects. It's always fun. So thank you very much @Jules Pride Bengals for that heads up for the GPT. You are helping others by sending in things like this. I am so glad that you are part of the community. Thank you for watching the videos, and we will see you in the next one. All right, everybody, here we go. That is it. I hope that the 3 ideas that I gave you for how to use ChatGPT for your business really do help you make more money. You just have to think about how to use AI better. There's always courses everywhere. There's so much to learn. I mean, it's so much that you should start learning it now. But just remember, AI is meant to be like a person that you're talking to. So if you want to learn how to do something, it can teach you how for you to teach it. It's so funny because you can ask it, what should I tell you? What should I ask you so that you can do this for me? It's insane, but that's how AI works. Just start talking to your program. Start talking to it like a human being. Start asking it a bunch of questions and start learning it because, again, I don't want you guys to be left behind. AI is huge. It's going to explode even more in the coming years. There's so much investment here in the US, in almost every single country in the world. For good or for bad, this is where the world is going, and you have to learn it. You have to learn it before you're left out in the cold. To continue supporting the channel, you can always send your thanks with the thanks button down below. You can buy the Reselloupe to add value to the photos you're already taking. Better photos means better sales, plain and simple. And you can become a member of the Resolutions Posse for less than gas station coffee and get access to What the FAQ Thursdays, which is an awesome segment that is always fun. As always, give this video a like, share this with anyone that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace. And cheers, everybody. Woohoo! Oh, man. I love learning new things. I love learning new processes, new technologies that can help me do so much more. I've been on a rampage trying to find the perfect product to put out next. For my 3D printer, I've had already 3 failures. Actually, no, 5 failures as of yesterday, where I built something, I printed it, and then I said, no, this isn't good enough. So I had to throw it away. I chunked it. I had it redone. I had it like remodeled, and then I had it resliced. And I'm going to do that over and over again until I find the next product, which will be on the channel. I'll give it to you guys so you guys can see it. And I love it. I love doing new things. I love learning new things because my brain keeps active. Shouldn't have had that many beers last night.